Before the championships and the playoffs, we have a below-average Golden State team led by All-Star Monta Ellis, who will also put up good numbers. However, in 08-09, they couldn't even notch 30 wins and were a team going nowhere. But in the 2009 NBA draft, they drafted the babyface assassin Steph Curry, who would change everything for the Warriors forever. To start the process, the Warriors traded virtually nothing to acquire All-Star in his prime David Lee from the New York Knicks. In 2011, the Warriors would draft Klay Thompson with the 11th pick in the draft. This was interesting at the time, knowing that they already had All-Star shooting guard Monta Ellis. So later that year, they traded Monta Ellis to Milwaukee in a multiplayer trade for Andrew Bogut. In March of 2012, this happened. This would give Klay a starting job, letting him develop early in his career into the All-Star that he is today. Before 2012, the Golden State Warriors had a player named Troy Murphy. They then traded him to New Jersey for a second-round pick. That second-round pick was Draymond Green. That's crazy. A throwaway second-round pick to get Troy Murphy ended up to be the biggest steal of all time for Golden State. This was a small trade that cemented their legacy. In 2012, they then drafted Harrison Barnes, Festus Ezeli, and Draymond Green. The Ezeli trade was a steal, knowing Ezeli had a huge impact on D off the bench in 2015. They traded Steven Jackson for Ezeli, which Jackson was out of his prime. Harrison Barnes also ended up to be a really good pick, knowing his defense. And before the 2013-2014 season, the Warriors had a sign-and trade for Andre Iguodala. They would send away Randy Foye and a couple of picks. One of those picks turned into Rodney Hood. He's a really good player, but there's a spoiler alert. Andre Iguodala becomes Finals MVP. This is another not-so-small trade, but a trade that works out in the process and really had this team click. Andre Iguodala is honestly the heart and soul of the 2014-2015 Golden State Warriors team. In the 2013-14 season, they would go on to the playoffs, winning 51 games. However, they would lose to Chris Paul and the Clippers in 7 games. In the 2014 offseason, they would get the likes of Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa, Brandon Rush, and successfully re-sign Maurice Bates. However, the biggest move in the offseason was getting Steve Kerr as their new head coach. Kerr would adjust the defense and the pace of their team, leading to the Warriors to have the most possession out of any team. This upbeat tempo will lead them to one of the best regular seasons of their time. The Warriors would end up with 67 wins, the most in the league. Over the course of the season, Stephen Curry would have a career year. He would average almost 24 points and almost 8 assists a game, winning his first regular season MVP. Klay Thompson would have another All-Star year with almost 22 points a game. And Draymond Green had a breakout year of his career. He was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, and he surpassed former All-Star David Lee as a starting role. This team would end up to make the finals, facing LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The first couple of games, Stephen Curry played terrible. However, he would step it up in the next couple games. Andre Iguodala also got his first start of the year due to how well he was playing. The Warriors would win in 6 games versus Cleveland, winning the Warriors their 4th NBA championship in their franchise. For your information, the Cavs also got up to a 2-1 lead, making the Warriors come back to win in 6 games. Andre Iguodala ended up to win Finals MVP, giving the Warriors a historic finish to a great season with over 67 wins. In 15-16, a historic season happened. Golden State won 73 games, surpassing the Bulls' 72-game winning season. They shot 42% from 3, which is the greatest percentage of all time. They also had a 49% field goal percentage, and they hit 13 threes each game. Curry also won MVP this year. Not a league record for threes in a game, but it was pretty good. And however, in the finals, they had a 3-1 lead versus the Cavs and lost the lead and the series. Since this is a Warriors documentary for you guys, we're not going to talk about that too much. In the 2016 offseason, they were looking for talent to add to this team. Despite losing Harrison Barnes, they made the move of the offseason, signing Kevin Durant. Durant averaged 28 points and 8 rebounds for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They also acquired Zaza Pachulia, David West, and JaVale McGee. This team had a ton of depth. Throughout the season, Ian Clark filled in Barbosa's spot as a key depth player. KD had an immediate impact, putting up 28 a game in the season. The Splash Bros had another great season, and Curry had another MVP-like year. Draymond Green won Defensive Player of the Year, and the team overall won 67 games. With veteran presence, this team was unstoppable with David West and many other veterans such as Sean Livingston. In the playoffs, they then swept their way to the finals, beating the Cavs in 5 games. Best part about this team, Green, Curry, Thompson, and KD are on contract till 2019 until after then. And they are already favorites to win it all in the 17-18 season. The Warriors' rebuild was insane. Every single draft pick they made did something and wasn't a bust. The ones that were a bust, they were just throwaway picks. When I mean throwaway picks, I mean the people that were drafted after them, they were like 50th picks, No impact for the people that got drafted after them. But anyways, Green became a star out of nowhere. Curry became an MVP, and the Warriors became a dynasty. And this dynasty will not be stopped anytime soon.
Waking up in a dream, sleepwalking on another big stage. You never heard peace till you hear people scream your name in unison. I'm so far away from the place I used to be, struggling usually. Look at the new me, fate pursuing me.